So the next one's from Bill, and the subject is what you think. I was thinking if they still want Cody to beat Roman. You think they would have Cody win Money in the Bank? Next, have Roman surpass 1,000 days as champion. Whenever they get to Atlanta, he cashes it in and becomes a champion. I figure checks all their boxes is a bigger payout. Bigger pop, new champion in his hometown, and Roman surpassed 1,000 days. What's your thought on that idea? And that's from Bill. Bill from Wisconsin. P.S. Conan still praying for you and Stevie Richards on his road to recovery. Steve, what's wrong with Stevie Richards?
He's been hospitalized. Ben sent me a little information. I think he had some kind of infection. Maybe it was a lung infection, but it really screwed him up, and he
Oh,
kind of
really?
lost feeling and all that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that
Let me see if I
sucks.
can get a little more.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't know if Cody. I mean, everybody's just assuming that Cody was going to beat Roman. He might not be the guy to beat Roman. I would like to see how hot Randy Orton is when he comes back, because Randy Orton is a guy that could beat Roman and get a huge pop. I think. So I don't know. What do you think, Conan?
I was with our boy from that Nick Hausman on his show today,
Mm-hmm.
and he asked me,
Right.
why did they have Roman beat him? Because I had predicted, and I don't know if you did too. I had predicted that Cody was going to win, and
Right.
um, and then I said I really don't know, and then he brought something up which we had even talked about. I just forgot. He goes, I think they're waiting for Rock, and I'm like, well, what if Rock never does anything? And number two, why can't you lose it to Cody? And if Rock's coming back, then Roman wins it back.
Yeah. We'll see. I
Here's
don't
the
know. I don't like. Go ahead.
I was a little missing. My memory about Stevie was a little bit off. So he had pressure on nerves near his spine because of a crushed disc. So he lost feeling in his legs and had bad back spasms. It wasn't a
Oh
lung
wow,
thing. It
that's
was
horrible.
a spinal thing.
Yeah. Yeah. All
So
right. This is an interesting question.
We're
Interesting
used to
email coming up
erroneous
here.
information from you, Joe, so don't mind.
my
So,
stupid
yeah.
memory. Yeah.
Right. Next one's from Sean Davis, and the subject is rolling deep in Mexico. What's up, guys? This question is for Conan. Most luchadors that I've seen are in more peak physical condition than the average person. I'm also assuming they make more money and have more luxury items than the average person in Mexico. So when they leave the arena, remove their masks, and go out in the public, the people don't see luchadors anymore. You only see guys wearing nice clothes, driving nice cars, eating in expensive restaurants, and surrounded by luxury that most people can't afford. My question is, have people in Mexico mistakenly looked at these unmasked luchadors as members of the cartel? Perhaps the real cartel saw them as some type of law enforcement, or worse, the cartel saw these luchadors as members of a rival cartel. I'll give you an example. I have friends who are Mexican American and make good money. One day they went on a trip to Mexico and they rolling deep in a couple of SUVs wearing nice clothes on the way to the clubs and other special events. All of a sudden, some gunmen see these nicely dressed Mexican Americans packed in expensive SUVs and naturally thought they were members of a rival cartel. The gunman kept asking, "Where are you from? What business do you have here?" Long story short, my friends were scared out of their mind, but they eventually smoothed things over and made it out alive and back to the States in one piece. Any experiences similar to this that you know of, Conan? Regards, that's from Sean Davis. Conan, tell the
That does
story about when you and Norm. Tell this story because maybe people haven't heard this. But Norman Smiley tells this story great, but you tell it well too. Tell the story about the time that the cops pulled you guys over in Mexico and trying to shake you down.
a wrestler came up to me and told me that story during WrestleMania, and we popped at something that I said because that was typical me. But I'm not going to get into too many particulars because Norman likes his privacy. But let's just say that somehow, some way, well, first of, okay, what happened is we needed a place to go, okay, and we were with this other girl, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, well, why don't we go here to this hotel? And he was like, well, she works there, and I was like, so I actually stopped the taxi driver and I paid him off. So he lent me the taxi for like an hour. And so we went into the fields and we're out there playing around. And all of a sudden, this truck pulls out of nowhere. And like one guy had like a little gun, one guy had a shotgun, one guy had like a musket. Like they all had different guns, which was kind of funny. They're like, "What are you guys doing in there?" "Oh, our car broke down." "No, no, 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 no. You guys are doing something in there." "No, no, our car broke down and I got out to change a tire." And so I had a big fanny pack full of money. And he goes, "Why do you have all this money?" And I go, "Because I make a lot of money." And Magic like, "You're gonna get us in trouble. You're gonna get us in trouble."
Right.
And they just asked the girl, which she could have really buried us. He goes, "Were these guys trying to do anything to you?" "Oh, no, no, no. The car broke down. If not, they probably would have taken all my money and we would have been in jail." Yeah.
Right.
But
Interesting. So what about this?
uh,
About the luchadors may be
yeah,
mistaken for cartel
that
guys.
yeah, that doesn't happen a lot. But if they do see, but obviously, if you have a nice car, you do have to watch out for rival cartel, and you have to watch out for the cops, okay? Because the cops love to extort
Hmm.
money down there. So most
Right.
people hang out very low key unless they're running the city, and then they don't give, which does happen in a lot of
Right.
cities. But it has happened a lot where wrestlers are all in a van, like 12 wrestlers, and they get stopped and they go through their bag and to make sure that they're not, with a rival cartel. That has happened a lot.
Next is from Jared Smith, and the subject is WWE's heat with Ric Flair. Hello, gentlemen. There were reports. We're going to suspend this guy for bad grammar, Joe. Jared Smith, 1 week. Hello, gentlemen. There was reports that WWE was unhappy with Ric Flair for going off script for Muta's induction during the Hall of Fame. In all honesty, why should they be upset? They should know that Flair is capable of going to business for himself, especially considering he's at the age where he doesn't care. Plus, it's good to improve a bit. So my question is if WWE is justified. Now, first of all, I want to comment on this because there were reports that WWE was unhappy with Ric Flair going off script. Coney, you were there. You were backstage, and you would be an eyewitness to this. Were they upset with Ric Flair going off script? Is this an accurate
I
report?
didn't hear anything about that. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if he
But
did go off script with,
I'm saying, how
Go
could they
ahead,
not
Joe.
be? Not just how could they not be? It was not good. It was not good.
I don't. Yeah, but I don't care. Does anybody really give a? I mean, come on.
You're going to get called
Stuff like
anti-Japanese wrestling for that. For
I am
saying no one cares about
anti-Japanese.
Muta.
No, they're talking more about Ric
Next
Flair,
is
and this has nothing
Oh,
to do with
yeah,
Muta, really.
yeah. Well,
well,
I
it was
just think
his induction
Flair,
speech for
basically,
Muta was. No, the reason I asked about it during talks last week was because when Conan, you said there was rehearsals, right? So if Flair rehearsed his speech, then they should have known that he was either going to not do it well or go off the beaten path or whatever. But I don't know.
Well, you would think that
I don't know.
after not using him for so many years and letting him come back, and did he go out with his daughter? Because I saw him backstage with her. Did
No.
he?
Yeah,
Did he?
I don't
Okay.
know. No.
But he was backstage with her right before the match, and so was Andrade. And
Yeah.
but I don't. You've got to assume Rick's going to be Rick. You're only fooling yourself if you're not. And they were probably thinking, oh, we're giving him a chance to come back. He'll be with his daughter, be with the boys because he loves this, and hopefully he won't go up off script. But there you go. I didn't even hear his speech, even though I was so focused on what I had to do that I didn't even hear his speech.
It just wasn't a very good choice. He only worked with him a couple times in like the late 80s, early 90s. Actually, Flair himself on his podcast
It's
said,
probably an excuse to get a big pop
yeah,
for Legend.
but Flair said Sting should have done it and obviously couldn't because, he's an AEW. So
The next one is very interesting. Next email. It's from Gabriel Constantinescu. The subject is Iyo Sky. Hello, K100 crew. My question is for Conan. I respect everything Conan has done for the business, and his opinions carry a lot of weight. But I'm perplexed by his opinion of Iyo Sky. Conan said she has brought nothing to the table to WWE when her matches are the best in the women's division. In fact, in fact, she is called the best female wrestler in the world today, better than some men even. I feel like Conan is usually fair with his criticism, but not with Iyo. Even if she won't be a top star, you can't say she brings nothing to the table. So I'm wondering if there's some personal issue there. Did she rub Conan the wrong way during her time in Mexico or something? Thanks a lot, guys. Greetings from Romania. It's from Gabriel.
wow.
It's very interesting. Gabriel has the exact same last name as one of the Romanian girls that works in my club, and I wonder if they're related. It's interesting. Conan, go ahead with this because then I'll comment on this.
Yeah, she was in Mexico with her sister. She was very nice. That's nothing to do with that. Just I said she doesn't bring anything to the table as part of Damage Control. Her and the other girl. What's her name?
I can't believe I forgot her name.
Dakota Kai or
There you go.
Dakota Sky, yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Dakota
So
Kai,
I
right.
I just thought that Damage Control was kind of like a weak group. She doesn't speak English. She kind of like underacts while the other girl overacts, and then sometimes she overacts when she sees the other girl overacting. And yeah, she does have good matches. Nothing special, I thought.
But I don't care,
You know,
right? But you don't care for her because her character's not really defined, and she's not really like what's her character? She's a Japanese
right?
girl that
Yeah.
has good matches. It's like
So
I
it
don't,
ain't personal,
so I don't really care much. Right? It's just I don't care
right?
based on
And
the way
not
she's
only
being
that,
presented.
the
Yeah.
yeah, bro, they gave him a lot of TV time, a lot. They invested a lot of time in them. Does she really mean
Uh,
anything?
I don't. I don't know. Let me ask you this, Conan. I don't know if you.
I think
Well, yeah, you
Oscar's a
watched it
better
first.
worker than her. If you're saying she's the best in the world, just
Well,
Oscar's better than
this is
her,
where I want
and I
to.
think Charlotte's
Well,
better than her. Yeah,
this is where I want to suspend this guy. Okay,
right.
Gabriel from Romania. Greetings from Romania. This sentence right here says, "In fact, she is called the best female wrestler in the world today." I've never heard that. Okay, so you're saying that's a fact, so you're gonna be suspended for misinformation.
Well,
I
maybe
think
that's a
if we ask,
bad translation into English. Perhaps you know
nah,
what I'm
it's a
saying. He didn't-
suspension.
No,
Okay, but
okay.
let me say this. Let me say this. I think it's pretty much a consensus that if we said who is the best female wrestler in the world today, I mean people in the business, I think 99% of them would say Charlotte Flair. Fans, I'm not sure, but I'm sure it'd probably be pretty high. Would you agree with that, Conan? That in the business,
Huh?
who's the consensus in the business as the best female worker?
I think Charlotte.
Yeah, and so that's coming from people that are in the business and are trained and booked and wrestled, So
Well, let
like
me
Plus,
like
ask you.
Charlotte Flair,
I
it's
saw her
like
match with Rhea Ripley, and I thought that was incredible.
yeah,
Let
this
me
is
ask you this,
awesome. It's
Di.
like
You'll
I haven't seen
go
Iyo Sky
ahead.
in an incredible match yet.
because you'll like this, Di.
Right.
So when we talk about movies and stuff, you'll go to Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb or whatever. With wrestling, there's a site called Cage Match, where it's
Okay.
the Internet Wrestling Database, that Internet Movie Database, and people will rate wrestlers and matches and stuff. So actually, here Iyo Sky overall on the Cage Match Wrestling Database is considered a 9.5 out of 10. She has over 340 10 ratings, perfect 10 ratings. So the fans do seem to think she's, you know, very
Those
special.
are the bro. Those aren't fans, bro.
Now,
If
let me
you're
ask you.
on a
Those
website
are
like
mega
that, that's not a
marks. Those are mega marks
right.
like you
Yeah,
because you're on that site looking at
So
it.
why would you respect
right.
Rotten Tomatoes when movie fans comment, right? But you wouldn't.
I don't respect Rotten Tomatoes,
Well,
and I don't
I mean,
respect
Disco
you.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, first of all, Rotten. I trust my eyes. Is my
Right.
my eye test. That's what I.